Hello, I'm Fluffy Cathy here. Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Before we begin this miserable journey, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe with your tongue, cause why not? And what do I mean by miserable? I mean by the fact that Catherine and Rod are not being good friends. Come on, I'm trying to be a good sister. Even if you don't see me as a sister, at least see me as a friend. At least. It has been more than a week since Rod and I returned to the Martian. He has been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I am constantly on my feet preparing for Emma's ball. This is ridiculous. Better to be busy than bored, princess. I stop for a moment to better balance the pile of fabric that I am carrying. One of the maids have ordered me to bring this to a designated room so that it can be sorted out. I am being reduced to fetching and carrying, and I have made no progress on accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from the other maids will help me get my first good deed. I feel a shuffling in my pocket and then notice Laura peeking her porcelain face out. Better to obey than disobey, at least. You're not going to get a good deed being stubborn. Anyways, you got to put yourself out there a bit more, princess. You can't just do whatever is convenient for you. That's not good. Dolora has been no help at all. Wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I have been ignoring this room, not wanting to see what the king did to it during my absence. Do you not want to go in? Why should I? It is not as if it is my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. Aren't you curious about how it's changed? I'll be lying to say that I wasn't. I guess a little peek would not hurt. And I step into the room and close the door behind me. What? It is like slipping into the past. The room is exactly as I left it. It seems completely untouched. What's that? Moments later, Delora is standing before me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around, eyes wide. Everything looks the same. I put the fabric that I am now carrying on my bed and make my way to the shelf where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. What's this one? This one was not here before. Delora raises an eyebrow. Maybe you just don't remember that one because she wasn't very memorable. You do have a lot of dolls after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. This one is definitely new. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw at Victoria's shop. I quickly turn at the sound of the doorknob. My eyes move to Delora, but she has already turned into a doll and tucked herself into a corner of the shelf with the rest of my dolls. Emma stands in the doorway, eyeing me curiously. Catherine, what are you doing here? I made a mistake and thought I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she does not see through my lie. Emma shakes her head, smiling. It's not your fault, Catherine. You're still getting used to the palace and its many rooms. I get lost here all the time when I first around here. This room is interesting though. Father expressly ordered that it be kept clean, but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why, but apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Cherished? What a joke. Still, I cannot help but feel hope at her suggestion. I don't think father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came here to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yeah, I put one of my dolls here. She walked past me to pick up the doll I did not recognize. I brought this. I know Emma always visited Victoria, but I did not think she liked dolls. She always preferred receiving and buying books, so why does she have this doll? Do you like dolls? Well, I mean, I don't mind them, but I don't usually buy them for myself, no. So why did he buy this one? Emma looks at the doll with a sad smile and shakes her head. I, I'm like not sure. I bought it as a gift. I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked dolls, someone who I wanted to befriend. But I don't know why, but it just felt right to leave the doll here until I can remember who I was meant to give her to. Emma is silent for a moment before she turns to me with a bright smile. I know you have like deliveries to make, but can you come with me to the palace entrance first? Mother is still like busy talking and with the cooks and the fabrics. The fabrics can wait. I resist the urge to glare at her. You better not be dragging me around to do yet more errands. I'm expecting like a delivery, and I might need your help. I thought so. I had no choice but to nod. Of course. I begrudgingly follow Emma towards the entrance, and there I see the delivery carriage. A familiar presence stands beside it. Victoria! Emma pulls Victoria into a tight hug. I turn my attention away to glare at the number of boxes at the back of the carriage. I will no doubt have to carry them inside. How are the preparations for the ball coming? Emma's smile seems forced at first, but then eases into something softer. It's going well, like I suppose. How about the wedding? Di- Disimond and I have finalized a date. It will be 2 days after your ball. I can't wait like to see you in your wedding dress. These two always talk so much when they get together. I ignore their chatter as I walk up to the carriage to observe the boxes piled inside. What is in the boxes? Oh, Victoria reaches out to grab one. She hands it to me. I am helping with the ball decorations. I came by with part of the order today. Part of it? Careful, it is a bit heavy. I take the box from her hand and nearly stumble. This is heavy. Emma should have the male servants do this. Queen Ophelia plays quite. Oh gosh, I skipped it. Alright. Oh, like the glass bubbles and vases? I grit my teeth as I shift the box in my arms in an attempt to make it easier to hold. I thought you worked at a toy shop. Yes, but we also have aisles dedicated specifically to party decorations. What kind of toy shop is that? Catherine, will you be alright? I feel annoyance shimmer within me. I am obviously not alright. Emma reaches out to help me with the box, but she is too late. I have only taken one step forward when the box slides and I stumble. I manage to cradle it into my arms, but the weight is too much for me. Before I hit the ground, I feel strong arms around my waist, pulling me upright. The box is taken from me. Oh, no. My heart and mind are racing, and for a moment I cannot comprehend what has just happened. Are you alright, Rod? I glance to the side and am shocked to see Rod standing there. The expression on his face gives nothing away, but with our close distance I can see some flicker of emotion in his bright eyes. Concern? I am. Catherine, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Rod pushes me and I stumble forward, almost tipping on the ground. He raises an eyebrow at me. Know your limits, Catherine. I glare at him as anger begins to bubble up inside my chest. Just stay quiet. I clench my fist and take a deep breath to try and calm myself. I will not stoop to his level. He is the one being cruel here, not me. You shouldn't have stubbornly tried to carry something that was too heavy for you. I will not have to. I will not take the responsibility. By the way, I'm gonna stop doing the Batman voice because it kept hurting my throat. So please understand. Please understand. Rod, you shouldn't be angry with her for trying to help me. It was my fault for giving her something so heavy. Victoria, what are you doing here? Rod's voice is still cold. Victoria looks startled by his tone. I only came here I only came to deliver some of the decorations for the ball. And you thought Emma and her maid could carry these things on their own? I Rod, it's like not her fault. I'm the one who chose to bring Catherine with me. Like I underestimated the size of the delivery. Victoria was like just delivering the supplies. I think she admits her mistake. I never thought Rod would be so stubborn. Emma's expression softened as she looks at her brother. She looks sad. Rod ignores her and picks up the box that I had been carrying. He begins to walk away before he suddenly stops and glances back at me. Come on. Rod? We're going to call some servants to carry these boxes in. He turns around and begins to walk away. I am Emma's personal maid, not his. I glance at Emma, who nods her head. I'm like really sorry. Thank you for helping my brother, Catherine. I curtsy ever so slightly before running after Rod. Oh, this is gonna go well. Rod, wait! He picks up his pace as if he's trying to lose me. I turn the corner and barely stop myself before running into Rod's back. What now? Why are you so angry at me today? I've barely ever spoken to you. Your mere presence is enough to darken my mood. I glare at him and cross my arms. Funny, you call me cruel, but right now you are worse than I ever was. I don't need someone who hasn't even managed a single good deed to lecture me. Ooh. I have to try very hard to resist the urge to slap him. You were supposed to help me with get that a good deed. As I said before, I never agreed to this. I still refuse to help you. Rod starts walking again, and I hurry after him. I cannot help but recall how cold he was with Victoria earlier. I thought they were friends, but he treats her like this at the toy shop too. Why were you so angry with Victoria earlier? No reason. I raise an eyebrow when Rod quickly answers the question. Then you were cold for no reason. You have such a princely disposition. Rod frowns, but has no rebuttal for my words. You must be generally cold and unfriendly. Excuse me? That would explain why you treated Victoria as you did. I had thought you two were childhood friends. Victoria was always closer with Emma than with me. We may have been friendly once, but we've since become distant. Distant? It is none of your business. I pause as we pass by my door, remembering that I left both the fabrics and the lure inside. I make my way towards the door and open it. What are you doing? None of your business. Enjoyed your field trip? I frown when I see her sitting on my bed in human form. What would you have done if it wasn't me? Us witches have a sense for these things. Delora? Rod slowly enters the room. It's nice to see you, Lady Delora. Oh, Shebby. Nice to see you too, little Shebby. What are you do? Why are you here? Delora shrugs as she inspects her nails. I thought I would help the princess here since someone doesn't seem very willingly. Rod furrows his eyebrows at her. I didn't. Yes, I know. You didn't sign up for this. But do you really think that you have a choice, Rod? Delora looks at Rod pointedly. You know the consequences if this fails. Rod looks away, expression conflicted. Consequences? What are you talking about? Consequences for not helping me with my curse? Rod sighs heavily before turning back to Delora. He does not pay attention to me. I am not the right person for this. Doesn't matter what you think. The princess thought you were. So suck it up and do your job. Wow, thank you, Delora. I knew you cared about me. Rod is silent for a few moments before he finally faces me, looking resigned. I will help you then, but don't expect me to change my opinions of you. I shrug at him. It's not like I was expecting you to do too in the first place. The Lord grins with a clear triumphant. Good talk, Rod sighs. In order to achieve your good deed, you're going to need to mend what you broke before. I feel like I already know what he's going to say. My sister has always wanted to be your friend, so you must do that. Show her kindness and you may be able to get your first good deed through her. Show her kindness, huh? I don't know if she could do that. Let's do this though. The Lord decided to stay in my room for the time being, saying that she believes Rod will be able to help me for now. Later, I make my way to the dining room with the fabrics and see Emma and Ophelia inside. Catherine! Ah, I see you have the fabric. Thank you. Ophelia takes the topmost sample of the fabric and begins to inspect it as Emma walks up to me. Where's Rod? He returned to his studies. Oh right, he has history lessons today, and I am yet to finish my history homework, which is due tomorrow. As Emma muses aloud, I ponder what Rod told me earlier. I must become Emma's friend, but is that really a good deed? I hope Rod doesn't send servants out before he went back to his room. I wanted to tell him that Victoria and I have already called on guard to bring the boxes inside. Maybe he decided to start his lesson earlier so that he could make your dance lesson this evening. Dance lesson? Father wanted to hire the best dance instructor in Aguila, but I honestly feel more comfortable with Rod teaching me. He's a good dancer, so Father allowed it. This is a surprise. I did not know Rod could dance. Oh, he prefers singing, but then... Oh, just like the Little Mermaid. Oh, that's adorable. Ophelia tails off. I know what she is talking about, the fairy tale curse, but I do not expect her to delve all such information to a maid like myself. He's decided to focus on his dancing for the past few months. Ophelia glances down at the fabrics, then looks up and smiles at me. Catherine, would you mind helping me with this? Sure, why not? I immediately walk over to the fabrics Ophelia wants me to look through. They are apparently samples of the tablecloth that will be used during the ball. This is going to be a long day. It's okay, Catherine. You got this. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons to start on his dance lessons with Emma. I am only standing here because it is my responsibility as her personal maid to watch over her as she practices. I watch as she steps out of rhythm and Rod sighs at her. You're doing it wrong. That's the 10th time. Sorry. Again. They start from the beginning, and I am unable to stiffen my own sigh when Emma messes up the same step again. This would make the 11th time. I really am so terrible at this. Would you rather have the royal dance instructor teach you? He has more experience teaching than I do. Oh no, I really want you to teach me, Rod. I'm sorry that I'm such a slow learner. Um, you're always good to me at everything. Singing, dancing, cooking. Oh, he cooks. Prince Rod cooks. Yeah, Rod does cook. He's very good at it. You don't have to tell her that, What does it matter? I like bragging about how my little brother is so talented. Oh, and I totally butchered that sentence because I can. I see a tinge of pink in Rod's cheek as he turns away. Is he embarrassed? Emma looks down at the floor, her smile smaller. I wish I was like as talented as you are, Rod. I had always thought Emma was overly optimistic. She always seems to bounce back with a smile, no matter how many times I pushed her away. Now I cannot help but reconsider that thought. Still, seeing her like this only irritates me. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere. Not everyone can be perfect at everything when they first start out. Oh, did they hear me? I remember when mother gave me similar lessons. She was always such a harsh teacher, and she despised it when I showed weakness in front of her. She made me keep practicing until I perfected whatever it was she wanted me to do. Failure was never an option. I never had time for self pity. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, just try harder. Let failure inspire you to do better. Catherine, that was. She's like, right, Rod? Instead of like complaining, I should like be working harder, but I don't have to because I'm a princess. I let out an exasperated sigh and crossed my arms. You always look at your feet whenever you reach the underarm term. Instead, focus on counting your steps and let Prince Rod lead you. Worrying too much on your next step is what puts you off rhythm. Emma stares at me. Can you like dance, Catherine? Like she can? Catherine, how many secrets do you have from me, girl? Why? Wow, that's like amazing. There is nothing amazing about my being able to dance. Her praise makes me embarrassed regardless. Maybe I could learn faster seeing someone else do the dance first. Emma, what are you talking about? I'm like, where this is going. It might be easier to copy the steps if I can have someone to like perform them first. She turns to me suddenly, eyes bright. I don't like where this is heading. Would you like help me? I am meant to assist Emma in any way that I can, but dancing with her brother? Surely a lowly maid should not be doing this. She, except, well, if I do except at least that I can prove that I am a better dancer than Rod. No, we're not trying to prove that we're better. We're trying to support Emma, be friends with her, Catherine. Besides, I am supposed to be listening to Emma, no matter how absurd her requests are. If if that is what you want, thank you, Catherine. You finally recovered. Really? Emma rushes up to me and takes my hand in hers. Thank you, Catherine. I thought it might be an awkward like request, but I'm so happy that you've agreed to this, even though you're technically held against your will. I turned to look at Rod, who was glowering at me. I am not dancing with her. She might step on my feet. Emma gives him a disapproving look. Rod, like, please? Rod eyes me warily. I step into him and offer my hand. Shall we? Rod scowls at me for a few moments before finally taking my hand. Oh, this is not awkward at all. I put my hand on his shoulder and he places his hand on the small of my back. Rod looks at me but quickly averts his gaze. Is something wrong? I don't think I would ever have to dance with you, is all. Neither did I. Rod looks at me again. This time, he has an uncomfortable scowl in his face. He is not the only one. He's not the only uncomfortable one here. She's also uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's awkward. We both start dancing. I mentally start counting the steps. It has been a long time since I last danced with anyone, but the steps come to me naturally. This dance is rather simple. While Rod and I move swiftly, I cannot help but notice his careful footwork. I realize that Rod is a pretty decent dancer. Of course, I would never openly admit that. Catherine, you sneaky sneak girl. When we stop, I hear Emma clapping her hands as she looks at the both of us in awe. You're like Really a good dancer? Thank you like so much for showing me the steps. Now I know for sure what to do during that part. I just shrugged at her before stepping back into a corner. Emma takes her position in front of Rod once more. This time she has a bright smile on her face. I cannot believe something as simple as that has made her so happy. She's very she's an easy girl to please, Catherine. I think just go with it. At the end of the day, Emma has managed to do the steps correctly. She tells me many times how grateful she is for the help. After practice, I return to my room and retire to bed. I think about how happy Emma was. How can such small things make a person so happy? You stepped out of rhythm again, Catherine? Oh, we're with the mother again. Oh, gosh. But, Mother, this is really hard. A princess never complains. You must perfect this waltz by tomorrow. Otherwise, I will not allow you to play with your dolls for the day. But if you have time for objections, you have time to push yourself harder. Now, once again, from the top. Who hurt you, Catherine? I say that I asked this question and yet I know the answer, but still. The following days are uneventful. Emma continues her dance lessons with Rod. Her steps are still far from perfect, but I can tell that she has improved since my demonstration with Rod. Meanwhile, Rod still chooses to ignore me most of the time, though I have noticed that he is less cold than usual. Okay, that's a slight improvement. At least he does not snap at me for no good reason anymore. Though Delora is no longer assisting me, she insists on staying in my room more often. She says that there is something important she wants to investigate, and I cannot even guess what it might be. I prefer not having her around anyways. Her constant chattering makes it difficult to focus on anything. Right now, I am still trying to figure out how I can achieve my first good deed. Almost 3 months have passed since I was first cursed, but I have yet to complete my first good deed. Wow, 3 months? You've kept track? How? You don't even have a calendar. These are my thoughts as I head back into my sleeping quarters after dinner that night. Emma excused me long ago, insisting that I go on my own room before she went to hers. I am walking down the hallway when I notice Rod heading down a familiar path. I follow after him. Are you going to the Martian? I caught you! Rod jumps and turns around. The surprise in his face quickly fades into annoyance. Don't do that again. And no, not today. Since I came here, I found out that Rod occasionally sneaks out of the palace at night through the secret passage to go to the Martian. Even now, I am still confused as to why he goes there. He said before that he had given up on breaking his curse, which makes me wonder why he still visits. Also makes me wonder why he would refuse to break his curse in the first place. Is he okay with the way that he is, or is his curse just really difficult to break? Why were you cursed, Rod? You don't mind me asking that? I am not answering that question. Of course not. Why? I cannot help you break your curse if you refuse to tell me anything. I told you before I do not need your help. But I chose you as my partner. You help me, I help you. Easy as pie. It is highly likely that breaking Rod's curse will also count for a good deed. Rod scowls at me and crosses his arm. I'm afraid that this isn't how this works at all. The sound of footsteps keeps me from coming back with a retort. We both turn to see Sir Alcester approaching us. Oh no. I have to do a deep voice, but I don't want to. My throat hurts from doing his voice so much. I need to, Prince Rod, good evening. Good evening, Sir Alcester. So Alcester turns to me and raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you be attending to Prince Emma? Rod silenced me with a look. He moves to stand in front of me. shielding me from Sir Alcester's gaze. We were just about to go to her. Let's go, Catherine. Oh, okay. Rod strides away, and I quickly curtsy to Sir Alcester before following after Rod. I can still feel Sir Alcester's eyes on my back as I walk away. I try my best to suppress a shudder. Rod and I walk through the hallway in silence. We both stop in our tracks when we hear the clattering of silverware. I turn around and realize that the sound has come from behind a set of doors that is slightly open. The dining hall. Oh no! That's Emma's voice. We do not see Emma when we enter the room, but there is a dizzying array of cutlery set out on the table. Emma? Emma surprises us both by crawling out from beneath the table. She flashes us with an embarrassed smile as she gets onto her feet, holding several forks and knives in her hands. What are you doing here? You should be getting ready for bed. Sorry. I eye the silverware on the table. I thought I could, practice before I sleep today. It has been already an incredibly long day for her, and she is still doing this. I watch as Emma puts the cutlery back into the table in the wrong places. You need to rest, Em. I will protect the placement. Will practice the placement one last time. She smiles at him before returning to the table. I don't know why a person would need so much cutlery. One fork, one spoon, one knife should be more than enough for any meal. And all these glasses. I don't know why, but I recall correctly one is for water, one's for red wine, and this one's for white wine. Give her the correct answer. That flute is for the champagne. The other is for sherry. Oh, right? But there are two more. The other is for juice, and the other glass is for dessert wine. The dessert wine glass will only be used during the dessert course, and the juice glass is only used when juice is served as a course. Otherwise, it is placed next to the water goblet. I see. I see Rod staring at me out of the corner of his eyes. His lips twitch before he turns back to his sister. It looked like he was about to smile. Then what are these for? Emma points out the group of forks in front of her. Use these every day, Your Highness. You should know the answer. Emma points at them as she rattles off names. Dinner fork, like fish fork, salad, correct? You know so much about eloquity too. You're really incredible, Catherine. You make a better noblewoman than I do. You're now my BFF. Even if I told her I wasn't a noble, it's not as if she would believe me. I just read a lot about all of these things. You read and know enough to put them into practice? That's amazing. Especially since you haven't been with us so long, right, Rod? Rod shrugs. He does not, much to my surprise, disagree. Perhaps you should be my teacher, Catherine. I could learn so quickly from you. Emma quickly straightens out the coat tree. Now that I think about it, I have come to realize that Emma is much more than she appeared to be. It is probably because I am forced to spend so much time with her as her maid. She is different, she is flawed, and not as conceited, and more humble than I had originally thought. Maybe I should try lending her a hand. I may not be one of your tutors, but if you need help with your lessons, just ask me and I will do what I can for you. Catherine. I glance at Ron, who is once again wearing that expression of surprise. I'm surprised too. Catherine, you grew a heart. I shift my attention to Emma once again. You only have 1 month left to prepare, And as your personal maid, I feel it is my responsibility to help you in whatever ways I can. Catherine. Emma wipes her eyes in the back of her hand, and that's when I notice something glistening down on her cheeks. Crying? Why is she crying? You're like extremely kind, Catherine. Thank you. And I will like totally take you up on that offer. I am still looking at Emma when I catch a faint glow coming from the pendant on my chest. Oh no. What just happened? Oh, like, what a pretty necklace you have, Catherine. Thank you. Anyway, for now, I think the both of us should, like, benefit from some sleep. After escorting Emma back to her room, I walk out into the hall in a daze. What's that light? It seems like you actually managed to obtain your first good deed. Hey, I did it. I did not know he was in. I'm not gonna say anything. I look down at my pendant, astonished at what I see. Oh, another piece. A piece of the glass slipper? I gingerly touch the new piece that is hanging down my existing glass slipper pendant. It is real! You're not too bad after all. Did he just compliment me? What? Rod turns away. Nothing. He walks away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I think he's slowly liking me. We're finally gonna be friends. Maybe. Good morning, Your Highness. Would you like to play with us? You wanna play with me? Yeah, come on. We'll all have lots of fun. Well, please, just for a little while. Maybe I can. Catherine, what are you doing here in front of the gates? Mother. Good morning, Your Majesty. We were just wondering if the princess wants to come play with us. No, Princess Catherine does not want to play with you. But, Mother, I do. Enough idle chatter. We must go. It is almost time for your dance lessons. But, Catherine, do not make me repeat myself. Yes, Mother. Hang in there, Catherine. Hang in there.